Hello, it's Fran Davidson from psychicandenergywork.com.au, and this is part 2 of my monthly observations for September 2025. Part 2 always looks at the birth number for the month involved, or even the period involved. The birth number tells us what we're about to learn about, not only through our own making, what we put out there, how we help ourselves learn, but also through what others do and just how life is functioning in general on a collective level or even on an energetic or spiritual level. This month's numbers have some 9s, and indeed the chart has 4 9s. I talk about this a little bit in my monthly observations on the website, psychicandenergywork.com.au. Go through to the observations page, you'll find the text there because it's not what I'm running through here. So it's linked, it feeds into this, it probably adds value to this and vice versa. Anyway, what I want to touch on in this video is how 9, because this month is a 9 month, because it's got 4 9s in the chart, 9 is very much a number that you could say demonstrates to us how loudly, the universe is taking care of us in absolutely every second, especially those moments where we don't understand what's going on and we're sort of struggling with why life is doing whatever it's doing. 9 periods can feel frustrating, and that is especially the case once a person has done a few 9-stage cycles as an adult. Why is that? Because, of course, as egoic creatures, as mindful creatures, and I don't use those words as negative describers, but as egoic creatures, we are very much beings that get used to a particular way of things working. And in those moments where life says, you know what, it's time to evolve, it's time for things to shift, one of our first experiences in those chapters, is the sense that, you know what, it wasn't happening like this just 2 seconds ago. What's going on? And we might try absolutely every technique and formula and magic trick that we were finding successful in the moments just before, but all of a sudden they're not working like they used to. And as a result, egoic self can start to turn in on itself, start to lose faith, start to doubt what it's been doing. Am I on track? What am I doing wrong? Why doesn't life support me anymore? Etc., etc. When in fact, of course, life does. Life always supports us. But you see, life, and if we use life not just as the word that describes the picture that we see when we open our eyes, but actually life as the energetic experience and therefore the intuitive realm that is continually trying to help us, to inform us and to guide us if only we allow that to be the case. Some days we do that really well, at other days we're really bad at it, if you're anything like me anyway. So a 9 period can feel especially like this. 9 is a phase where the universe says, you know what, human, you've been doing really well on your path, and even if maybe you haven't been, it's time for some things to close off. Now, at the beginning of a 9 phase, even halfway through that, the individual involved can feel pretty sure about what needs to close off. Yeah, I get the feeling, you know what, I've dreamt it enough. I've had enough messages or experiences with that to know, you know what, that's really got to shift. Congratulations, that is the hallmark of a 9 period. But you see, in any 9 period, life can ask us to shift further than that. 9 at the end of the day, as I write every so often, it signals the fact that you're ready to close, you're ready to end the current chapter that you've been in, that you are in now. In other words, you're ready to finish writing the current novel in the series that's called your life. Because you're ready to end it, of course, you're in the process of getting ready to begin a whole new 9-year chapter. And even though that's going to be a continuation on everything that's just happened or everything that's happening now, it'll be slightly different. So in a 9 phase, the universe can say, trust me because I know what's in your 9-year book, your next one. Trust me because I know what you're going to be doing then. But you, even though you might have a sort of a sense of that, you got no idea of the specifics yet. And because of that, you may have not a complete sense, not a complete picture or understanding of what needs to end now. 9, like any passive number, asks us to remember that the universe always takes care of us. It's always acting for our behalf at the same time, as everybody else's. In other words, universe only wants good outcomes, win-win outcomes. 9 years can feel a little unkind simply because they can ask us, or they can force closure, they can force endings beyond the degree that we were expecting when they were beginning to unfold or present. Within that, therefore, a 9 period asks us to shed a layer of ourselves that is now tired, is now beyond its use-by date. And that doesn't necessarily mean it's become negative. Nothing has to be seen as negative. And even that is interesting, isn't it? Because it is often through what self knows, what it has come to know, and therefore its theories, its conclusions, its descriptions, its labels for life, as it has been, as it is playing through now. It is through that it creates its obstacles. That's so easy to say. It's so difficult to remember on a 24/7 constant level in a way that Hello One is never challenged. But you see, what I'm also trying to get at that, just at that point, is the fact that, again, 9 asks us to let go of ourselves. Not because we devalue self, not because we devalue, dismiss, throw out, you with me, denigrate any aspect of what we've come to know. But see, in a 9 period, again, part of that flavor, part of that phase can be flavored by, trust me, human, I know what's happening here. You don't yet. In other words, I need you in what could be called blind faith right now, just releasing, just letting go of your tensions and your shoulds and your projections and your forecasts and your expectations and your assumptions, all of those things, and everything else. Letting go of all those things so as to even see what I'm trying to show you right now. Because in one way, and I know that I've touched on this in part 1 of my observations for this month, so please play that as well, because it dovetails into this, But 9 asks us to let go, 9 asks us to surrender absolutely everything so as to even see where we are currently at, where the moment, the step that we have come to, that is also therefore going to cast a light on everything that we can do in the next second, every aspect of where we're going as we're ready to see it and sense it now. 9 asks us to let go of absolutely everything so as even to come to that moment of being able to download those insights, to receive those intuitive moments of guidance, and awareness that brings us back into our solidity, our confidence that we are on track, that we are going the right way, even if we've got a couple of adjustments to make, and therefore just relax, let go. So within that, if you've been sort of struggling over these last few months with these dynamics, and what I mean by that is, again, if you've been finding it hard to let go, if you've been finding it hard to stay in faith, to stay in optimism, first of all, congratulations. Again, you're not alone. This is such an important time. Even if you visit astrological websites, you'll get a whole lot of narrative about how everything is being thrown up in the air. Why? Because 9 is also the place that shows us you are not here to live a model. You're here to be a model. That doesn't mean pump it out and project it at everybody else. It just means let go of all the shoulds, let go of all the theories, to even discover the you, to even get in contact with you, and to even download everything that the universe is ready and willing and wanting to show you right now, to empower you, to affirm you, to energize you, and to equip you as you step forward. So all the very best to you as you step through September. Know that on one level, it is going to be a really clarifying and therefore solidifying, building, cementing, firming period. If you're not feeling that way at the moment, just let go. Just allow life to speak. Don't fill space with yourself. Don't fill space with your head stuff, your narrative, your inner chatter. Yeah, because that can close the door on insights. It can obstruct the flow of spiritual wisdom that is always there as long as you're willing to breathe it. Take good care. Give me a call or email me if you need some help with this, with developing any of the above. Travel well through September. Move on to part 3 of my monthly observations when you're ready. Travel well.